Hey, just a second here. And make sure I'm coming in loud and clear, which I think I am. Welcome everyone. And this is day 12. Let me just check on my phone here and see if I'm streaming live on the pages. And it looks like I am. That's good. And hopefully we're on the Instagram as well. But if not, it is what it is. And I'm just going to use this phone and hopefully not get a whole bunch of feedback. If that works. So let's see here. Check on the live feed here. I think we are good. And welcome everybody. This is day 12. You see I'm getting toasty, roasty. I was out in the at the beach today, and swimming out there, maybe an hour and a half, just out floating. Just go out as far as I feel comfortable before the currents really get too rocky, and just float on my back or swim around there for a couple hours, and, and all of that stuff, and that's good. So, take a moment and share it to the fasting group. I'm sure that would be nice. And they would appreciate that. And let's see, I'm going to do all of that real quick and get it out the way so that we can get moving and grooving. There we go. That's the fasting group. Everything all at once. Okay, I think we're good. So, again, welcome everybody to. Hey, greetings, Mambo Rhonda. I'm going to see if I could pull it up on the Facebook without making a mess with the sound. Because you know I've been doing that, so hopefully I'll be able to do this here. And pull it up. It does seem like we're on. What's up, Shell Rock? And stream it here. And then this way at least I can see you when you come into the feed. But we'll see how we do it. I know in the past this has kind of made it, so we see how that does. Okay, here we go. DJ Uptown Flavor, what's good here? This is day 12 of See you when Family Fast, and I am your host, facilitator, Mark Blake. Okay. Here we go. Blake the Snake. Today, I guess wellness name is Sunflower Warrior. See you when you fast. That's good. I am your host. We got a nice topic. Greetings, Mercy Harris. I'm gonna sit this phone down for a minute. I guess wellness name is Sunflower Warrior. See you when then I'll check with it later. We got a nice topic. Greetings, Mercy Harris. I'm gonna sit this phone down for a minute. I guess wellness name is Sunflower. But today, then our topic today, check with it later. Vitamins, got a nice topic. Greetings, Mercy Harris, and herbs. I'm going to cut you on my thoughts. My understanding of what I've learned. But today, then our topic today, check with it later. Vitamins, own decisions, and also encourage you to cut you on my thoughts. Do your own investigation. But today, of course, investigation. Same to you, Mercy, and constitute also encourage you to such and such said, or such and such. Do your own investigation.
Yes, be okay with that. Let me see, I'm going to put it back.
Same to you, Mercy.
Over, yes. Facebook is not in real time. Such and such or such and such. Do your own investigation. Anyway. Yes, be okay with that. Let me see, I'm going to put it back.
Same to you, Mercy. So we're going to get to that and
such and such. Do your own investigation. Anyway.
Vitamins,
Yes.
supplements.
Just
Just on the bottom of the screen,
as
get
my
to
contact
that and
information,
follow me on Instagram
or my DJ podcast,
vitamins,
or
yes,
DJ
supplements.
webpage.
And then also for people just joining the bottom of the screen,
As my contact, I haven't been here.
I have asked for a $10 voluntary level
For the duration of the fast and information is that.
and then also for people just joining the bottom of the screen,
And
again,
apologies
apologies.
to you that
I have asked for a
right now
$10
voluntary
voluntary
level
level
for the duration of the fast and information is that.
and then also reply back to you.
Just
Just joining the bottom of the screen,
appreciate
and
it.
again, apologies.
That's it. So right now
We are at
day 12, 30 days.
reply back to you.
Let's get going with
Vitamins,
again, supplements.
that's it.
So right now
We are at vitamin would be considered
30 days.
a supplement, but all supplements
Reply
are
back to you.
that's
Let's get
superfood
going
with vitamins, different things like that, even like sea moss would be considered a supplement.
Right now
We are so vitamin would be considered
30 days.
a supplement, but let's
But
just
also
start with
with
vitamins is a
category by
vitamins.
itself.
Vitamins are
sea moss would be considered a supplement.
couple so vitamin would be considered whole food vitamin, but let's just start with
isolated.
vitamins is a category by itself. Vitamins distinguished to the couple of difference. With the synthetic, it doesn't come. It's not coming from plants.
Isolated.
It's inorganic.
So you have organic and organic.
Vitamin, if you know your basic biology, eighth grade, the difference is with the synthetic, we absorb organic. It doesn't come from plants. They make it organic. It's inorganic. Inorganic matter, like rocks, if you know your rock soil and things like that, we're not really absorbing. With the synthetic, but that goes to soil, doesn't come from plants. They make plants organic. It's converted into inorganic matter, that's you know your usable for us, and that's really good. We're not really absorbing. It makes them a nice little soil. How we have to work in absorbing. So all of these different aspects converted this inorganic that needs harmony with each other. So usable for us, and that's really good. We're not really absorbing. What makes them a nice little soil. Inorganic is not really what we designed. So even if all of these different aspects converted this 82 minerals or whatever different minerals with each other. So usable for us, and that's still inorganic matter. It makes them a nice little inorganic, at least not to an efficient way. So even if all of these makes adjustments for things, 82 minerals, but there's a consequence for that. And just because something has something inorganic doesn't mean that's organic, at least not a value or the payoff outweighs the cost. So, you know, to that matter, you could say, well, and just because this amount has something, this amount of this, it doesn't matter. And so it's good for us. And it's not a value or really a payoff outweighs the cost. Besides the fact that matters, you can say ludicrous. And really, this amount has something. A blindsided, it doesn't matter. And so, like often it's good for you to say a value or really a payoff outweighs the cost. Like besides that, a little. We knew that was that quick. And kind of happened with the phone, but you know, if I had another crack and so like often it's good for you to say, but people say like a glass of wine
has these benefits, like that, a little, and that's just like a phone, like a fork, because grapes have fat. But because it has grapes in a glass of wine, it's benefits, but also when the cost of natural consuming alcohol is a poison, and it's not necessary
But
consume
because
alcohol
it has
like
grapes in a glass of wine, it's benefits, but also it's when the cost of natural
simplest way
consuming
to. So that things could get tricky. You could say, well, they said it's this, or Red Bull has this, consume alcohol because something has something. You also have the fact that the simplest way to. So that things could get tricky. Okay, it has this, it's good. They said it's this, or Red Bull has. That's how we consume alcohol because something has something. You also have the fact that chicken embryos, dairy, houses, okay, it has this, well, it has this, as if that's how we can't eat because something has something. So synthetic is chicken embryos. We're not designed for synthetic things. Okay, it has this synthetic molecule, as if supplements, medicines, whatever it is, we're not designed. Synthetic, regardless of the explanation, we're not designed. Our body works a certain way. It doesn't work different than our explanation. As if supplements that in mind. How it's designed is how it's designed. It doesn't change according to regardless of the explanation. We're not designed. Our body works just the way it is. A certain way. It doesn't work different than our explanation. As if you speak that in mind. How it's designed is how it takes a certain amount of time to design. That's what it is. Regardless of, if you explain to the paint, hey, but I got to put another coat on the fire. It doesn't work different than our so, you speak that in mind. Rational. Think how explain what it is. That's how you explain to the paint. And I think we should know there's another coat on the fire. It doesn't work based on reason. Put in synthetic chemicals in the living organism is not ideal. Explain what it is. It's not ideal. You explain to the paint. And I think the only reason to do that is some believe that that's necessary to maintain health. And one is not necessary. Is not ideal. Explain what it is proper. Good mental. And I think the only reason allowed to do that is some believe. And two, that's something needs healing. Why would adding one is not necessary to help with the healing? How does that add up? That's like the only reason allowed to do that. The wound is scraped too. I'm going to just scrape a little more with the knife and help. One is not necessary. It's counter to the whole healing. How does that? Synthetics. No, then you got a wound that's scraped too. Well, I actually just scrape a little more with the knife and food, and they're not isolated. So even though it'll say, you get a whole food vitamin C, no, it's not just. Then you got all these other different amounts that are. Well, I actually just scrape a little more with the knife in whatever foods. They're not isolated. So they may use particular foods that are high in vitamins, but it's that's different than isolated vitamins. All these other different ones that are, it's not synthetic. And then whatever extra cell, they're not isolated. So they made it from a food source. How is it obtained? But it's that's different than isolated. Just concentrated, dried, different ones that are. It's not freeze-dried or dried and then ground then whatever extra cell. They're not isolated. So they made it from a food source. Been cooked. How is it processed and denatured and lost a lot of mineral concentrate, dried, to begin with, which takes a lot away from dried and then ground. Greetings, Adrian. So that's something to consider, because if we're taking whole food mineral concentrate, you said getting a lot of feedback, which takes a lot away from dried and then ground. That might be from the phone up here, so that's something something to consider, because if we're, and let me check on my whole food, oh, you said you're getting a lot of feedback, which takes a lot away from, but we might be able to be able to get the phone up here, though. So that, so that's something to consider, because if we're, and let me check on my whole food, oh, you said you're getting a lot of feedback, which takes a lot away from. Oh, that should have been down. I don't know how it came back up. Okay, so that should be off. That should take care of the feedback. And I'll continue on. I didn't realize somehow that had gotten back up there. So that's good. So that should be better, Adrian. Okay, good. I don't know how that volume keeps going back up on Facebook Live. So, but we were with the whole food vitamin. So if you're deciding you're going to take whole food vitamin, then they should be in a raw form. So it's just actually a food, your body can absorb it and all of that. But then there comes to another question. If that's the food and that's where it's coming from, the food, why not just eat the food? If you're told you're low in this and that, why not just eat the foods? The food, rather than buy a supplement. It's like we go to the store. This is a nice one. We go to the store and we buy seedless grapes, and then we go buy grapeseed extract to boost our immune system, where we could have just ate grapes with seeds and threw the seeds if we want and swallow those. So we're isolating to bring back, and it's still based on some notion that we're lacking and we're missing. Like people say, well, now here's a new one. They said, well, now, the soils are depleted and you're not getting the minerals out of it, and the soils are depleted, so we have to supplement. Well, why aren't the other animals eating from the soil? Why aren't they supplementing? Because they seem to be just doing fine. The cows that we eat that's eating that grass from that depleted soil is still growing to be 2,000 pounds. So that's not it's a conversation that's brought up, but it's actually not founded on any factual thing. That the soils are depleted may be a case, but we need so little minerals. So it's less about us not getting enough of minerals and nutrients. It's more about us giving away the minerals and nutrients that we have. And one of the main ways we give them away is through inflammation from what we eat, acidic foods, and we have inflammation, and in that inflammation process, the body trying to deal with that and all that havoc is wreaking. The body's trying to deal with that, and it's dealing with it miraculously. You always say, it's amazing we're not sicker than we are. Yes, it is, Adrian. It is hard to find grapes with seeds, and the crazy thing about it is we've had grapes with seeds at some point. We get them maybe once a year, but they're so easy to grow, and we don't even just say, well, I'm just going to grow my own grapeseed vine in my backyard. Simple thing, we had, in our yard, we had the grapes. I know Sheldon remember, we had the grapes there, and, and we had alcohol problems after that, in the fall after the grape season was over, but that's another video. With that, lost my thought here. See, grape seeds and then grapes, and before that was the supplementation and some notion that we're missing something, and something is out of whack, and then also in addition, we're designed from variety. Like I said, we need so little nutrition, but it's that we're giving away so much, and we think the solution is I need to take this back. I need to make these concentrated vitamins and supplements, and I need to make these concentrated smoothies, and I need to put protein powders, and this and that, and I need to put everything in that that container, So I got my smoothie, and then I got my put my sea moss in, and then I got my flax seeds, and then I got my protein powder, and I got my green stuff, and I got my fruits, and I got my vegetables, and what other animal eats like that? Even if all of those things were available on the farm, you wouldn't eat it that way. You just get something, eat it, and get something else. We're designed to have variety. And I think part of variety encourages us to move, to have motion, to explore different areas and different regions. So oranges are here, and this here. And ideal, and this is just my own belief, is that the foods grown indigenous to those areas, in those areas, are the most electric, life-giving foods in those areas. And, and that's the ideal thing. Of course, many of us live in northern climates, so we don't have the luxury of having much produce, especially fruits, year-round. So we get stuff shipped in from other areas and make that adjustment. But even with that, we try to stay seasonal. So if we're in the northern hemisphere, like you're in New York and places like that, and Georgia and all of those areas, it's not mango season in that hemisphere. So although you can get mangoes from Brazil and you can get mangoes from South Africa, it's not mango season there. It's not watermelon season there. But there's a lot of wonderful things that are in season. There's some wonderful greens. There's some wonderful fruits, persimmons and mandarins, and what else we got? Apples, pears, berries, cherries. So you got a lot of things that are in season. And sometimes I think we just go out our way to worship what's not available. So we might not eat watermelons all summer, but we're doing the fast, and I need to find watermelons with seeds. When, have something else. It's not time for that. So don't create that. But the purpose for supplement, and I'm segueing into supplementation, and vitamins is one form. The purpose to supplement is because there's a deficiency. So that means when there's not enough, you supplement. So if your diet is deficient, then why not just change your diet until it's sufficient, rather than continue to eat a deficient diet and supplement? Just change the diet. And with a plant-based diet, proper raw vegan plant-based diet, you can have a sufficient diet. With all the things we need. It's amazing. Even people that follow a lot of religious practices don't follow the main dietary things that are recommended. They have an explanation. Well, after this happened, he said it's okay. We still got the same body. If this is what's supposed to bring us life, seed-bearing fruits, that means fruits with seeds, herbs, leafy greens, and nut for our milk. And if those are the things that give us life and are the proper way to nourish us, then that's the proper way to nourish us. Our explanation doesn't change that. Oh, I got my Crocs on too. I'm glad these came back in style. I had these like 15 years ago. And I know they look horrible and crazy, but they feel so comfortable, especially like walking in town. So with the body, it's designed to eat a certain way, and if is something sufficient. If there's something lacking in your diet, then change your diet so it's not lacking. You know, it's just like if you're making a cake or a soup. Let's say you're making a soup. And I know I have some good cooks out here, so you're making a soup. I'm gonna just see if this will let me. See all the comments, because it's not showing me all at once. Okay, that's good there. Well, Adrian says she doesn't drink milk at all. And since her mom's not a cow and she's not a calf, I think that's wonderful and appropriate, Adrian. But I love that milk growing up, like big glasses. Oh, the little low battery is showing up there. So we're going to fix that. Bear with me, folks. Yeah, there we go. Oh, we did something that we shouldn't have did, but that's okay. I'll fix it in a second, because I think this screen will close if I put it on low power mode. But let's see what happens here. Maybe we'll get lucky. But if it's deficient, then that's the solution is in that. The problem is the solution. Make it sufficient. You know, so if you're not getting enough iron, and you say I do some leafy greens, and if you're not getting enough antioxidants, then eat some fruit, and so on and so on and so on. But we'll find the more sufficient our diet comes, the less those deficiencies will be there. What's going on, Leslie? Happy New Year. So that's how you like the tan. So. Finally lost my taste for it. Great. So make our diet deficient. I think I was going to say earlier, part of us needing there's not one super fruit. They said, what's like the best super fruit, or what's the best? That's just our old concept of taking a pill and we'll be better. So we just want a fruit in a pill form. If you were just going to eat one fruit, what would that be? Well, I don't wake up and think about it if I was only going to eat one fruit. And I'm here in Africa where it's in season, so I got watermelons back there, and I got watermelons, mango, coconut water, and some bananas. The bananas will be ripe in a couple of days. So I'm not really processing what I'm going to eat. It's all going to come in one. Like, I'm going to eat this one food and that's going to take care of everything. It doesn't work that way. That's not how the body works. That's not how it's designed to work. So that's just not a process. I think I can look here and maybe see the comments. Okay, yeah, I can see the comments, but that's far away, and we'll look through there. I'd rather do the phone anyway. So let's tighten things up and not look for one thing. Part of the variety, I think for me personally, is so that we will explore and we'll get something, so we'll be in motion. So everything we could get is from this one mango tree in my backyard, then I might just limit myself to that one mango tree. But since I need a little stuff here, and the bananas are over here, and blueberries are down the road, and then on the other side, they got the papayas, and, it creates, in order to get that variety, it creates motion. Now with us, we don't have to do that in the westernized society, so we just go to the grocery store and get it all at once, but it's still an idea to explore variety. Even in your shopping, get some things here. Some people I like to go to the big chains like the Whole Foods and the Trader Joe's and get their organic food, but then also go to the local food co-ops or the smaller food chains, like they have Moms in the D.C. area and Westerlies in the New York area, and support like that and give variety. Maybe try some of the Asian markets or the Latin markets or the other ethnic markets, and try some different types of stuff and just try it out. See what it's like, see what it feels, and not use it to replace something, not use it as a one-shot bullet. I need to get this, and then that takes care of the whole thing. What's wrong with just taking time to eat some delicious whole foods, raw vegan foods, and nourish our body, and in the process, we have to give up stuff. So we might give up diabetes, we might give up arthritis, we might give up high blood pressure, we might give up cancer, we might give up heart disease. So yeah, we're going to give up something, but it's okay to give those things up. So supplement is for a deficiency, and it's a compensation for deficiency, and not the most efficient compensation. The most efficient compensation is sufficiency. Have a sufficient diet, So if it, like I said, I was talking about if you're making a soup and there's this one ingredient that you put on these couple of ingredients and you put it in there, and then that makes the soup just amazing. That's wonderful. I said, this is great. This is perfect. This is how I want it. And you serve it to everybody, and it's sufficient. It's got all the flavors you want. Or instead of doing that, you could say, these couple of ingredients that I put in, little herbs and season or whatever it is, or celery or whatever it is I put in there, I'm going to continue to not put it in there and not have that soup just like I like, and I'm just going to give it to everybody to put it in themselves, and they can supplement it to make the soup just perfect like it can be made, and they'll do that instead. Oh, okay. Okay, Michelle, we'll have it up later. It wasn't the same without you, Michelle, but we're going to get through it. So that's what it'd be like. Like you have something that's just right, but instead we're going to do it like this, and then we're going to constantly compensate, whereas it could be just right. Like an apple is perfect the way it is. It doesn't need any supplementation. Eat it. It's loaded with enzymes, tastes delicious, and adds to us. And brings forth life. But we wanted one thing, and it's not one thing when it comes to food. It's variety. There's so many different, people say, don't you get bored eating that way? So people that eat meat regularly, most of my friends that eat meat regularly, trying to think, how many types do they eat on a regular basis? Maybe beef, pork, chicken, fish, turkey, the other seafood, and lamb. So that's like 6 different types of meat. 6. And they don't even eat that all the time, but there's no talk about I get bored with that. If I had chicken yesterday, I beat this way. But, if I have bananas today, I can have papayas tomorrow. I can have apples the next day. I can have pears. I can have watermelon. I can have soursop. I can have jackfruit. I can have mandarin. I can have plums. I can have peaches. I can have grapes. I can have egg fruit. I can have mamey. I can have sapote, nesberry. That's so many types of fruits and variety. So there's no reason to, greetings, Madeline, to be bored. Unless you're being boring, then you're going to be bored. But there's so much available. Take advantage of it. And then
and lastly, I want to segue into, we've got the vitamins and supplements, and the last thing is herbs. And so, and this is like a little tricky stuff because a lot of people believe in herbs, and I do believe in herbs with a purpose. So for me, herbs, and there's things that would be considered herbs that are actually just can be foods for us, like mint and basil and things like that. But we're talking about concentrated herbal formulas to alleviate symptoms for things. And it's great to be able to alleviate the symptoms in the process of changing our eating habits so that we can change the cause, because that's a big deal, is changing the cause. Because if we're taking herbal remedies, like if you take herbal remedies for high blood pressure, let's say, give you an example, or diabetes, and so let's say for the high blood pressure and the diabetes, and you're taking the cinnamon, and you're taking turmeric, and you're taking bilberry, and you're taking stinging nettles, and you're taking all of these different things for the blood pressure and the sugar imbalances and stuff like that, that will help alleviate the symptom, but that does nothing to change why you have high blood pressure, why you have blood sugar imbalances. It does nothing to change the cause. It says it's delaying, but I'm going to keep on. It does nothing to change the cause. So, in essence, whatever's causing it is still wreaking the damage from that. So the arteries are still clogged and plaque and all of that, and you haven't addressed the cause. So you've taken something to help you with the symptom of it, but you're not addressing the cause, and the cause is causing damage. So you still got those arteries clogged up. I had my doctor, first naturopath, a wonderful guy, Dr. Rufus, and when I saw this guy, he had light skin, like my untanned skin, like that, and he had these clean, clear nails and thick, and he looked strong, like on the Budweiser African Kings. He just had that strong look. And I said, this guy looks amazing. So I would have been about 40, 41, 40, 41. I was vegan, maybe a year, and I became vegan into being a vegan. And he had all of these herbs all over. He knew each one, putting in a protocol and all of that for my blood sugar and the different things. And I wasn't too good about taking them, but I was changing my diet and it went away. But anyway, he passed away relatively early, like not relatively early. I think he was in the 60s with complications for diabetes. And I remember him, I was hearing he was going blind and the other things. And he had all of these herbal remedies, but didn't change the diet. And so one of the drawbacks with the herbal remedies is that people don't actually change because they're not getting the symptom. And the symptom is designed to let you know you have to change. And when you quiet that down, it may be just ill-intentioned, but then we forget about that. We forget about that. Okay, I'm not feeling this, but something's going on there. And like I said, I'm not against herbs. Sometimes people have pain and acute stuff, and in order some alleviation. But you'll be amazed with fasting and diet change how quickly most ailments uh, will subside. And I don't mean completely cured, but to get relief from it as your body is working to eradicate it, like fairly quickly. I mean, I know people with gout and swollen ankles and retaining water and circulation problems and arthritis, and like go on a water or juice or green juice or fruit feast in like 4 days. They're getting a relief from that. 4 days, 5 days, they're off of medicine. And the crazy thing is sometimes that's not even enough. Like after all the relief from all of that, when the 30 days is over, the 21 or the 2 weeks or the 7 days, then they go back to what they're doing. But often when that happens, the next time they don't want to make the change. They want to know what I can take. And I get quite a few people to ask me, what can they take? And although I have lots of herbal remedies that I have here, and I can tell you, okay, you can take the lobelia or mullein leaf if it's lungs, or you can take milk thistle and portiaco for the liver and the different things like that. I stopped doing that because, one, it's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to assist people and direct them back into healing themselves. I'm not here to give them a better way to manage their sickness. Just a non-medical drug way of managing their sickness. And although that can be lucrative and that has its benefits, that's not what I'm here to do. And I don't worry about that kind of stuff anyway. So, the herbs for me are great in the process of, and it may be like, well, I eat the standard American diet, the SAD diet as we call it, and I'm eliminating things, I'm not able to just go vegetarian or pescatarian or vegan or raw vegan or fruitarian. But I'm working my way there, but I have these things. And it's great. You can use that to assist you and apply some assistance in the process. But it's not a cure, because as soon as you stop taking those things, those symptoms are going to come back because you haven't changed the source. So you haven't healed yourself. You've just found a way to mask the symptoms without using synthetic chemicals. You're using natural remedies, but that's not the same as healing. So, let's be mindful of that. And I think I'm going to close it on that and just talk to you just like, let's consider treating our body and feeding it the best, most nourishing foods and allow it to heal itself. And give up the notion that we need to put something in us to make us feel better in the immediate. Just let the body heal itself and we'll feel better. And we'll feel better coming from inside. It'll be a exuberating feeling that can't be replicated by anything else. So, and just through like all the other animals, they're not primates like us. They're not trying to find what's the superfood. They just eat. They're not looking at it and saying, well, one how much protein and this and that. They just go ahead and enjoy it. Yes, so, that's interesting. Michelle, you said the high blood pressure is often caused by the high salt content. So, in actuality, now the salt will dry you out, will dehydrate you. But high blood pressure is a mechanical thing. So high blood pressure is like when you go out and you cut your hose out and you're going to water your lawn and you got the hose and you're sprinkling it like that, but it's flowing out like that. So high blood pressure is like when you put your thumb over it or you put the nozzle over it, then that same water flow is trying to get through a smaller opening. And those smaller openings are your clogged arteries and vessels and cells and constipated cells that are clogged. So and then when you compound it, let's say if you took that garden hose and you're trying to spray it, and then in addition, we're eating denatured foods that thickens our blood. So now it's not like water coming through, it's like gravy trying to come through that garden hose and now through that little nozzle and the pressure. And sometimes the pressure can be so much that it just clogs up completely. So like if it's in the brain, that's a stroke. And if it's in the heart region, that's a heart attack or aneurysm or all of that. So it's not, salt and stuff in the food is going to dehydrate you, and it's going to cause acidity in the body because it's synthetic. It's not a natural product for it. It's coming just what it is, pressure. You have an opening designed for blood flow, and now that opening is smaller because the arteries and everything is clogged with plaque and junk. So the opening is smaller. So that itself is going to make it harder. Then the blood is thicker, so it's like a double whammy. So that's why in a couple of days, like a few days, 3, 4, 5 days, people with blood pressure problems, they're like not having blood pressure issues because now their blood is not so thick. They're eating whole foods. They're eating raw fruits and vegetables. They're eating just fruit or green juices or coconut water. And that blood is thinning to its normal self, but not being thinned by a chemical. It's its normal self, and it's getting through the opening. And in the meantime, when you continue, then all of that cholesterol and plaque and all of that crap is going to break down, and the body will get rid of that. So not only will you have this thinner blood going through there nicely, then that opening is going to get better, and then you have more circulation. And when you have more circulation, then you have more nourishment, and you have more oxygen, and you have more healing. And it's not a snowball effect, but it's trickling up, not trickling down. So those things are not major things to overcome. They're major things to maintain. They're major. Yeah. Yeah, I just read that, Adrian, and just my friend, my sister, really, Louisa, and she had stage 4, I'm going to say leukemia or brain cancer. They gave her 3 months to live if she took the chemo and radiation, which she didn't. And that was probably at least 15 years ago or more. And Louisa is now in her middle to late 50s, and looks like she's in her 30s. And she's helping people heal themselves and on a plant-based diet, and looks amazing. So those things go away, The aneurysm will dissolve, it will break up if you take the steps. But it's less about what I can take, it's more about what can I stop taking? What can I stop taking to allow my body to heal? Because it's designed that way. It's designed to maintain and process in any crisis, address the crisis, and heal. And then in addition to the regular stuff, the regular crap that we're putting in, and then now we're dealing with, who knows if it's a new virus, if it's the flu, it's a bacteria, whatever it is,
why not just fortify your body? Like instead of running from bacteria and viruses, and like if we're gonna go like this, if they say it only spreads above 5 feet, like instead of doing all of that, why not just take care of our goddamn bodies and stop explaining why you can't? You know, we're worried about catching things, but we put crap in our body voluntarily every day. But we're afraid of catching something. We put crap in our body every day, and yet we're afraid of catching some invisible things. So it's, pick up some grapes, pick up an apple, pick up a banana, make a nice salad. Stop putting in the crap, including putting in the crap that we tell ourselves about why we can't do it. And make some choices. If you right here, then that's okay. Work your way to here, work your way to here, work your way to here. But you don't work your way by explaining why you can't. Make some steps. This is really, really important. I can't tell you how many people who, and I'm going to say literally, try to shit on me on a regular basis because of my choice of what I won't put in my body or what I will and how I live. But their behinds is calling me up every time they're sick, and how do I get rid of this, and what can I do with that, including how do I get rid of that other thing. And even when they have the other thing, it's still not telling them I'm not healthy, because everybody's not getting it. Everybody doesn't get the flu, everybody doesn't get influenza, everybody doesn't test positive for different things. So it's lymphoma, okay, Louisa, because I've been telling like the wrong thing for like 3 years now. That's Louisa in there now. She's on there. You should look at her, her page. But it's, we're so afraid of catching something, but we don't care about giving ourselves something. That's not for our benefit. We don't care. We eat stuff, but, I've had a chance in Costa Rica to work with some that tested positive people there, and for about 7 days, like 2 or 3 people a day, giving different solutions, because I didn't know what each person has, diabetes or other pre-existing, and that was wonderful. And here, unfortunately, most of my friends come to me because they have some crisis. They don't just say, hey, you know what? I just been thinking I want to just be in the best shape of my life. And I was out there looking at the damn cow, and I said, I ain't supposed to be eating that cow. There's an apple tree right on top of it, and eat those apples. And, that don't really happen. Really it's happened when people contact me, my friends and families, because they're broke down. They're having a breakdown. So that's, most of us have to have a breakdown and have a breakthrough. But it's not required. It's not required. You can actually just make a change because you just want to experience yourself in optimum health. You just want to experience yourself free of being chained by how close you are to your medicine, and to your doctor's office, and to the hospital in case of an emergency. And just live free and liberated. So those things are not the normal. Those are things that are the very rare occurrences. And consider taking that on and giving that to yourself. So that's it. I'm going to sign off. I said I'm going to try to play some music tonight at about, East Coast, 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock your time. But I don't know. Just if I'm on there, you'll see it on my page. But everybody, you'll have an amazing rest of the evening. I'll see you tomorrow for Lucky Day 13. And it's on a Sunday, too. So
Peace and abundance, everyone. And let me see, shut this off. And you'll have a great rest of the day.